And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. So this is going to be a fun, quick video here. I know I say that almost every time, but I saw this article on Fox News. I mean, I don't really pay too much attention to Fox News, as I think Fox News tends to be just a sliver more logical, slightly better than other left-wing publications. I mean, they definitely are better. I mean, I don't want to say that they're just a little better. They are better. But to me, they still have their drawbacks. But you know, I'll check in just to see what the fuck's going on, what major news has transpired, ideas for the channel, things like that. And I saw this article, and I had actually heard a little bit of this. You know, if you ever tune in every now and again to InfoWars or some of the more, I guess, what the mainstream would consider extreme individuals. I would not, but the mainstream would. You know, people who have been around for a long time, who have been through the ringer, who have been smeared. You'll have heard about this article. I mean, this has definitely been coming down the pipeline. And you've seen it in one form or another in countries like Canada, with how they police how people talk, the words that they can or cannot say. Same thing with England. So this is not completely out of left field, but I wanted to highlight it nonetheless because it just needs to be highlighted, and it shows the current state of America, and I think really the West, because to me, even though it's not as much now as it used to be, America is still the beacon on the hill, the source in which everything, especially in the West, kind of springs from or springs off of. But you guys need to know about this. And right off the bat, I'll tell you right now that things like this, like what I'm doing right now, do not come with their own danger, so to speak. I mean, they most certainly do, and I fully acknowledge that and understand that. But that is the current world, the current state of things that we're in. To me, as a white man, straight white man who has been a conservative all my life, and you know, perhaps this is me being slightly biased. I fully acknowledge that, but to me, there is no more group that is victimized than the straight white Christian man. And you're going to see that with this article. So let me go ahead and share my screen right here. This shit is crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. FBI documents associate internet slang like based and red pill with extremism. Unreal, guys. The doc listed key terms associated with involuntary celibate and racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism. All right, let's read a little bit of this here. New documents released Monday warn that common internet lingo is being associated with violent extremism by the FBI. And this is why, guys, you know, you'll hear, and guys, we've seen this with the January 6th stuff, okay? The couple days after January stuff. You can, if you want to get some of this stuff done, you can no longer do it in plain sight. And I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but the reality of the situation is, I would say back in like 2015 to 2014, let's just say 2014 to 2017. I think that's a good time frame of where the internet, and especially the political aspect of the internet was absolutely being capitalized by the right, or capitalized on by the right, using it as a way to spread the conservative message in a cool way to the masses that otherwise we were not able to do, or others were not able to do, because, well, the mainstream tends to be liberal, which is for a variety of reasons. But, you know, we won't get into that. And they have caught on to that, guys. They have now caught on. Not now. I mean, they've been catching on to that. Donald Trump doesn't win the 2016 election if it wasn't for alternative media. He does not win if it's not for alternative media. I would argue that we would have had 3 Democrat presidents in a row if it wasn't for alternative media. And they have, since 2017, they have been using the internet back against those same conservatives who used it as a really good tool to spread their message. Now, it's dangerous to even be linked to conservatism in one way, shape, or form. And unless you are with some like big Fox News or The Blaze or something like that, where you kind of have some cover, you're on your own. You're totally on an island, and you're in danger zone. Danger zone. The Heritage Foundation's oversight project said it used a Freedom of Information Act request to expose FBI documents that include glossaries showing that common internet slang has been flagged as an indication of involuntary celibate, violent extremism, or racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism. Part of the document refers specifically to incels, or those involuntary celibate, whom the threat overview describes as possibly seeking to commit violence in support of their beliefs that society unjustly denies them sexual or romantic attention to which they believe they are entitled. Now, well, let me finish this. The assessment notes, while most incels do not engage in violence, some have been involved in at least 5 lethal attacks in the United States and Canada. Now, I wouldn't say that that's completely untrue, or, there's always some truth to it. But to me, the answer is not to shame or put them on some FBI watch list. Okay, this is not, extremism the same way you would find in the Middle East or anything like that. This is a result of American society. This is a result of the West totally sidelining, shunning, and incapacitating, mutilating. And yes, I mutilate, if you catch my drift, masculinity. The answer is not to put these terms on an FBI watch list and label them the hard T word. Many of the terms mentioned in the FBI's list of incel terminology are either widely used across the internet or innocuous in nature. Guys, the FBI, the CIA, the military are all so lame. They're so lame at this point. I mean, you just watch current day Army or Marines commercials. They're the lamest things you've ever fucking seen. You watch, there's this FBI commercial where this like Latina diverse bad bitch or woman who is on there and is bragging about how awesome it is to protect our nation's leaders. And it's like, who is buying, except for these delusional people in the West, who is actually buying that when push comes to shove, that woman is going to be the one who protects the president? Not me. Sure as shit, not me. But it checks all the boxes. The one term in the glossary is red pill, which comes from the 1999 film The Matrix. See, now They are weaponizing a word that literally goes back to a movie in which the system tries to push down people who know the truth and fight against the current state of affairs and in the current system, who go against the system. This shit is getting crazy, folks. Has been used as a metaphor for seeing hidden or politically incorrect truths about the modern world, particularly when it comes to politics or dating. The FBI list of key terms defines it as a belief shared by many online communities that society is corrupt and that the believer is a victim of this corruption. Now, I would say, and this is something that Christians have gotten wrong in modern times, and I would say the past 10, 20 years, is that Christians used to very much be a part of the fight. They used to seek to assist and help some of these debaucherous behaviors above anything else. I mean, you look back at like things that were going on in Roman times and the things that some of the places that Jesus was willing to put himself in as to bring people out of the darkness and expose them to the light. But now we've kind of just hidden into our own little communities and are not fighting the good fight because, well, evil is going to do evil and there's no point. I mean, this from a Christian point of view, this used to be a way of life. You look at the Vikings who invaded Europe, or excuse me, England, and other territories over there. And you see how those Christian countries responded to them doing so. Their number one, or at least top 3 goal was to convert some of the Viking warriors to Christianity, to take them out of their pagan belief system into Christianity. I don't know that we do that anymore. Many of the terms listed are focused on self-improvement or the struggle to reckon with the marketplace of modern dating. The glossary defines the term Chad as a race. Man, I'm fucked as it's I'm fucked because it's my title. As a race-specific term used to describe the idealized version of a male who is very successful at getting sexual and romantic attention from women, later noting incels unsuccessfully compete against Chads for attention. Now, you can be a Chad if you're black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. Now, I would say that a Chad yes, it is more geared towards white guys, and a Tyrone is more geared to a black guy, but still, anyways. We're just going to read a little bit more of this. The list also included the term looks maxing, which is defined in the document as the process of self-improvement with the intent to become more attractive. There are many terms associated with self-pity rather than violence, such as saying it's over to convey the hopelessness of being an incel, or referring to height cell or bald cell to define people with short stature or baldness, respectively. Anyways, they go on to say that using the term based, here it is. Based is defined by the FBI as a word used to refer to someone who has been converted to racist ideology or as a way of indicating ideological agreement. See, it's absolutely insane that they view it from the standpoint of only conservatives say that. Now, albeit I would say conservatives and people who are red-pilled came up with that term, but people on the left say it too. But it's absolutely insane that they view it as some sort of racially motivated terminology. That's insane. Absolutely insane. In regular parlance, based is a context-specific word coined by rapper Lil B that can mean as know your meme, describes anything ranging from something that is agreeable and cool to something considered anti-woke. So there you have it, folks. I mean, it's getting worse and worse. And my answer to this I'm along the lines of Nick Fuentes on this. There's only two ways that this is going to change. Okay. Because I think for the past 20 years, a lot of conservatives believed that as long as they were able to get a conservative president elected, if they got the House, if they got the Senate, that we would be able to turn all of this around, which there's some truth to that, but it's not the only answer. And it's come up short. Okay. The only way that that these things are going to change and we are going to get things back is two main ways. One, either by a full-blown dictator who is the president of the president or dictator, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of the United States for 20 plus years, or at least 15 years, and is able to truly transform this country back to the way it was. Because it's not going to be done in 8 years. There's simply too many problems that need to be fixed. Okay, that's way one. Way two is for people like you and me, Christians, Catholics, Orthodox Christians like myself, to get into positions of power, even if that means not boasting about your faith necessarily up front or being totally upfront about it. I'm not saying lie about it, but not necessarily boast about it. And to get in positions of power, by and large, in academia, in the media, in political, positions of leadership, things like that, and to get to the top and start implementing some, just like the left did 40 years ago, and start building things back to the way they were. Not even necessarily back to the way they were, but to the way that we know is best. Because I hate the fucking terminology that conservatives use of getting things back to the way they were. That's never going to happen. The best you can hope for is to take the newfound ideas that you now know and implement them with some of the things that you know have worked in the past and come up with an even better society than existed before. That's the only way that this is going to change, folks. And so you need, especially if you're a young man, you need to be gearing up to be in positions of authority and leadership and power. Whether that be being a worker bee who really facilitates and assists a phenomenal man, or you're one of those people yourselves. That's what needs to happen. Making organizations, and mentoring, being legitimate leaders for the young men that come after us. It's the only way things are going to change. And getting people back into the church through mentorship. I would also add that I am a big believer in controlling the things that you can control in your own vicinity, which means if you go to church, be on the church council. If you're at work, try to get on the whatever board or leadership council exists. Be involved in your community. Have kids, multiply, be fruitful, make your money, and contribute to society in a positive way. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share this. This is absolutely crazy. This is the world that we're moving towards. The way I view it is we're moving towards a capitalistic version, or a faux communistic kind of Chinaistic society, where up front it doesn't seem like we live in a communistic state, but we really do. And we're kind of already almost there. I mean, we are constantly surveyed, constantly monitored. Our words are constantly censored. We're pretty much already there. So we don't have much time, guys. Anyways, I just wanted to share this article. Very interesting indeed. Stay hungry out there, Kings. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Go to the gym, get big, become leaders, become mentors of the community you live in. If you guys have any questions, concerns, like I said, put it in the comment section. Definitely subscribe to your boy. We're coming for it all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy, Willow. In facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Peace, Kings.